Good morning everyone. Welcome to all fours e-learning classes. This is zoology subject. Topic endocrine system. And today we are session 5. Today we are going to discuss pineal gland. Pineal gland is named to be the epiphyseal cerebri. Epiphyseal cerebri. Generally, we have discussed that the pineal and pituitary glands are the glands which are connected to the hypothalamus. Dorsal side of the diencephalon, the pineal gland is present. So, thalamus, dorsal side is epi, ventral side is hypo. That's the reason why the pituitary gland is said to be the hypophysis, whereas pineal gland is said to be the epiphysis. That's the reason why it got the name epiphyseal cerebri. Pineal gland present on the dorsal side of the diencephalon. It is a small rounded structure and it secretes a hormone named to be the melatonin. It is it is an amino hormone, melatonin. Generally, this melatonin is a hormone responsible for, it is having the role in, it is maintains the sleep-wake-up cycles. Sleep-wake-up cycle. What do you mean by this? Sleep-wake-up cycle, nothing but it is maintaining the circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythm, diurnal rhythms are maintained by this, which means it is the hormone which is playing role in time related functions, that is sleep wake up, and this is maintaining, it is responsible for, it maintains the pigmentation. Next, temperature regulation, and it is also maintaining the melatonin is responsible for the, it is of the defense capability and menstrual cycle are maintained by melatonin. Melatonin is also maintaining pigmentation in the sense, it is the hormone which condenses the melanocytes. Earlier we have discussed that is the MSH and melatonin are antagonistic, which means melanocytic stimulating hormone spreads the melanocytes, thereby darkening the skin. But the case with the melatonin, it is condensing the melanocytes. So one is spreading, opposite is that of the melatonin which condenses. This is how the melatonin and the melanocytic stimulating hormones are considered to be the antagonistic. So pigmentation, next temperature, defense capability, and the menstrual cycle. These are the functions play role by melatonin. Generally, this melatonin is also of, it is inhibited during darkness. In darkness it is inhibited. And apart from that, we do also discuss, that is when somebody is about to sleep, the light play role. So in darkness it is promoted or else it is encouraged, it is promoted or else stimulated. It is stimulated in darkness, whereas during the daylight, during light period it is inhibited. This is what we do discuss in the case of the melatonin. That is, melatonin in darkness it is stimulated or it is promoted, whereas during the light period it is inhibited. Generally, the melatonin is the one which is acting on it is acting as a biological clock. That is, it stimulates the suprachiasmatic nucleus of the hypothalamus. Thereby, it is acting as a biological clock. Nothing but time related functions. For suppose menstrual cycle, every 28 days of a time period in females the menstrual cycle what takes place, and also the sleep wake up cycle, that is 24 hours of a day time are also influenced. That's the reason why the melatonin is treated to be the biological clock. So that's all the detail regarding the pineal gland. Next we'll move on to thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Thyroid. Thyroid. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is treated to be, it is considered to be the largest endocrine gland. Largest endocrine gland. In terms of origin we have seen, that is from ectoderm and mesoderm and endoderm the endocrine glands are origin. For suppose the pituitary we have discussed, it is ectodermal. Pineal is also ectodermal in origin, whereas the thyroid is of endodermal in origin. It is endodermal in origin. It is endodermal in origin, and it is of the largest endocrine gland. Thyroid gland is the only gland among all the glands. If you observe, thyroid is the only gland which stores the hormone that is secreted by it. For about 2 months it stores. So this is treated to be the storing gland. Storing gland. The only gland that stores its hormones is none other than thyroid glands. Thyroid gland, it is endodermal in origin and is of largest. In terms of its structural, it is located on either side of the larynx, just above the trachea on either side. It is located diagrammatically. If we see, this is the location of the thyroid gland. Thyroid. Some consider that it is a bilobed and connected by means of isthmus stalk. Isthmus stalk. It is connected by means of isthmus stalk. It is a bilobed. These are the two lobes. And these two lobes are connected by isthmus stalk, in which it appears like a H shape. H shape it is showing. So bilobes are connected by means of isthmus stalk, and structurally this thyroid gland consists of the follicle cells and also the stromal tissue. Stromal tissue. Thyroid gland composed of the follicle cells, stromal tissue. It is lined by means of internally cuboidal epithelium. Epithelium is the tissue which is covering all the body parts. So here we came across the internally thyroid gland is lined by means of cuboidal epithelium. So it is with the follicle cells, stromal tissue. Besides that, this follicle stromal tissue is lined by means of cuboidal epithelium. Structurally, we can see the stromal as well as the follicle cells arrangement of the thyroid gland can be observed here. Look at here. This is a thyroid gland, and it's a structure. So this is the follicle cells, and it is with the internally lined by means of cuboidal epithelium. Besides that, the parafollicle cells are also observed. In the case of the thyroid gland. Generally, the follicle cell stromal tissue secretes the thyroxine, whereas parafollicle cells secretes the calcitonin, thyrocalcitonin. The thyroxine is the hormone secreted from the thyroid gland, whose secretion is stimulated by thyroid stimulating hormone. Recall your memory. We have discussed that the pituitary gland is the gland which releases certain hormones which influence the other glands' hormones. That is thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. Thyroid stimulating hormone is the hormone which stimulates the thyroid gland to secrete the thyroxine. So the hormones of the thyroid gland are also influenced by pituitary. And from the follicle cells, the stromal tissue which are lined by means of cuboidal epithelium, in the case of the largest endocrine gland, secretes thyroxine. Thyroxine is a amine hormone, and this thyroxine is made up of the iodine molecules. That's the reason why there are two types of the hormones are secreted from the follicle cells, which is made up of the iodine, triiodo, tetraiodothreonine or thyroxine. The tetraiodo T4, that is T4 in the sense that is made up of 4 iodine molecules, name it to be the tetraiodo-thyroxine, triiodo. There are two types of the hormone secreted from it, and these are made up of the iodine molecules. In this connection, this thyroid gland is a precursor. It is considered to be the comparable to that of the endostyle of the lower vertebrates and the chordates. We do see in the case of the chordates, particularly protochordates, where ventral side of the pharynx there present endostyle, which is a ciliary filter feeding structure, is also with the iodine molecule and is the precursor of the thyroid gland of higher vertebrates. The similarity is because of the iodine molecules. Next, the thyroxine. Thyroxine is a hormone considered to be of a calorigenic hormone. And one point to recall that thyroxine and somatotropic hormone, growth hormone, are not with certain specific target tissues or organ in function, which means they are working on different structures. The growth is on the muscles as well as on the bones. Thyroxine is showing different functions, which includes it is maintaining the basal metabolic rate. It is maintaining the basal metabolic rate, and it is said to be the calorigenic hormone. It is considered to be the calorigenic hormone. The due reason is this is the hormone which utilizes the oxygen. It utilizes the oxygen consumption is maintained by the thyroxine at a resting condition and produces the ATP molecules. That's how it is the hormone which is maintaining the energy, calorigenic hormone. And apart from that, protein synthesis is also maintained by thyroid gland. Besides that, it is of erythropoiesis in function, erythropoiesis, that is RBC production, RBC production. Apart from that, the thyroxine is also playing vital role in the salt and water balance. Osmoregulation is maintained, carbohydrate metabolism is maintained, and above all, so this can be evident that the thyroxine having the wide variety of roles. Apart from that, thyroxine is of it is responsible for metamorphosis in lower vertebrates. Metamorphosis, lower vertebrates, it is playing vital role in metamorphosis. That is the metamorphosis in the sense the process of conversion of a larva into an adult. For suppose in the case of the tadpole larva of the frog, if the thyroxine is removed from the tadpole larva, the larva failed to convert into adult and it remains in the larval stage for a long period. That is named to be the neoteny. If the thyroxine hormone again given to the tadpole larva, it can undergo the metamorphosis, which means thyroxine is a hormone responsible for metamorphosis in the case of the lower vertebrates. This is how the functional role of the thyroxine can be seen. It is triiodo and tetraiodo, basal metabolic rate, that is the heartbeat. The activities of the body are under the control of the thyroxine. Next, it is a calorigenic hormone, protein metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism, and it is for erythropoiesis, production of RBC, and it is of metamorphosis in the case of the lower vertebrates. This is in the case of the amphibians. For suppose the tadpole larva, because of the thyroxine converted to adult, which is the functional role of the thyroxine altogether. This is the description summary of the thyroid gland. Next, apart from that, we do also discuss the parafollicle cells. The parafollicle cells of the parafollicle cells secretes thyrocalcitonin, TCT. Thyrocalcitonin is the hormone secreted from the parafollicle cells. It is considered to be the hypocalcemic hormone. Hypocalcemic hormone. It is considered to be the hypocalcemic, which means it reduces the calcium levels in the blood. Thyrocalcitonin, it reduces the calcium levels in the blood, that is thyrocalcitonin. Generally, the parathormone which is secreted from the parathyroid gland, parathormone, which increases the calcium levels in the blood by the activating the osteoclast. Resorption, bone resorption is done by means of demineralization of the bone is done by parathormone. Thereby it increases the calcium levels in the blood, but the case with the thyrocalcitonin, it decreases the calcium levels in the blood, so the hypocalcemic hormone this is. So we can consider that parathormone and TCT, thyrocalcitonin, are antagonistic to each other. This is the detail about the follicle cells secreting follicles and stromal tissue with the thyroxine, whereas the parafollicle cells thyrocalcitonin. Thyroid gland is the only gland of the storing hormones. However, neurohypophysis we see it stores, but the hormones are synthesized in the hypothalamus. This is how the thyroid gland is described, and its location is on either side of the larynx. Above the trachea, larynx is present a voice producing organ, and it is present in the form of the two lobes connected by means of isthmus. This is the summary of the thyroid gland. Let's go to the details of its disorders. That is, it's the hypersecretion of the thyroid gland. Right. So, hyposecretion of the thyroxine results in one, cretinism, next myxedema, are discussed under the hyposecretion of the thyroxine. That is cretinism as well as the myxedema. And one more is also Hashimoto disease. Hashimoto is also discussed. Hashimoto disease, which is a autoimmune disorder. It is an autoimmune disorder. Hashimoto disease is discussed here. So, hyposecretion of thyroxine, cretinism. Cretinism is treated to be the congenital disorder. Congenital disorder. The congenital in the sense by birth. Congenital disorder. Cretinism. If the thyroxine levels decrease during the pregnancy in mother, it is reflected in the children, that is the new baby born or with cretinism. That's what it is, a congenital disorder. And the individuals are dwarf, mentally retarded, sluggish, inactive, and mutism. That is, they are very silent, as well as they characterized by means of dwarf, sluggish, and sexually, mentally retarded individual. This is what the difference we see between the cretins and the dwarfs. Dwarfism we have seen earlier, there the lower secretion, hyposecretion of the growth hormone results in the dwarf. There we discussed they are dwarfs, but sexually they are normal in condition. They are physically retarded, that is physically they do not grow, but sexually they are normal. But here they are physically and sexually retarded individuals. Sluggish, inactive, basal metabolic rates are very low, and IQ what also very low. Such are what name it to be the cretins, and characterized by the potted belly, open mouth. This is the status of the cretinism. Next, myxedema is also named to be the Gull's disease. The other name for myxedema is said to be the Gull's disease. Myxedema. Hyposecretion in the infants, young ones, infants results in cretinism, whereas the hyposecretion in the adults results in myxedema or Gull's disease. That is, basal metabolic rate is low, BMR is low, low BP, blood pressure is low, and intolerance to cold, low BP. Next, the loss of appetite but weight gain. This is the most interesting thing we see. Loss of appetite, but the weight gain. Next, toughness of the skin. That is, myxedema individuals are those in which the skin if appear to be like a puff, that is like a sponge. So these are the symptoms of the myxedema. Myxedema or Bill's disease is due to hyposecretion of the thyroxine in the adults, characterized by low metabolic rate and low BP and intolerance to cold and hair fall, loss of appetite, weight gain. These are the symptoms we see in the case of the myxedema. Next, Hashimoto disease. It is one of the autoimmune disorder. It also comes under the hyposecretion of the thyroxine. Next, hypersecretion results in the conditions named to be the exophthalmic goiter. Hypersecretion of thyroxine results in exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter is seen. Exophthalmic goiter is also named to be the Graves disease. It is also named to be the Graves or Bezdow's disease is the other terms we give for the hypersecretion of the thyroxine. Exophthalmic goiter, Graves disease or Bezdow's. The hypersecretion of the thyroxine results in the condition named to be they are with a high metabolic rate. Next, the heartbeat is more high heartbeat. Next, apart from that, the high blood pressure, high BP are seen. Besides that, the other characteristic feature are the symptoms that show is the protruded eyeball protrusion of the eyeball, high metabolic rate, high heartbeat and high BP are the symptoms seen in the case of the exophthalmic goiter. Ophthalmic related to the eyeballs, related to the eye. When compared with the normal individual, this eyeball is protrudes out. That's what the exophthalmic goiter or Graves disease or Bezdow's. And apart from that, besides the hypersecretion of the thyroxine, one more condition also we see, the deficiency of iodine. Deficiency of iodine results in a simple goiter. Simple goiter in the sense, the deficiency of iodine in the food that they take, generally it is said to be the endemic goiter. Endemic goiter, it is also named to be the endemic in the sense restricted to certain parts. Endemic species. For suppose certain species are restricted to certain area, kangaroo to Australia, it is an endemic species. So endemic goiter in the sense, particularly simple goiter is seen in the hilly station individual, the people who are living in the hilly station. Why? In the sense the rainy water washes away all the iodine present in the food that the individuals in the hilly stations eat. That is, rainy water washes away all the iodine present in the food, so iodine deficiency takes place in such individual. This iodine deficiency will be reflected in the follicle cells of the follicle cells of the thyroid gland, in an attempt to take more iodine, they grow. This results in a swelling of the thyroid gland at the neck region, that is at the larynx, the region at the throat, the thyroid gland will enlarge. The swelling of the thyroid gland is said to be the simple goiter. It is due to deficiency of iodine, and that's what it is named to be the endemic goiter. It is particularly seen in the people who are living in the hilly station, where that's the reason why it is endemic, where the rainy water washes away all the iodine, so they face the deficiency that is reflected in a simple goiter. Thank you.